Thank you for joining us this Monday evening. I'm Alex Urkula.
And I'm Chris Davis. Welcome to the Bragg Innovative News Network, or as we call it, the BIN.
Now, this is the effort of a collaborative class in the College of Mass Communication with students from the School of Journalism and Electronic Media Communication Department.
The BIN is named after famous state senator and newspaper owner John Bragg and his family, and they helped us kick off the initiative just last week.
Now, the Braggs are big supporters of Middle Tennessee State University, and our class chose to name it after them. Rutherford County Circuit Court Judge David Bragg represented the family in the Center for Innovation in Media last Tuesday.
Judge Bragg was joined by MTSU President Dr. Sidney McPhee, President Xiao Yanlin of Ganji University in China, and College of Mass Communication Dean Ken Paulson and other dignitaries. It was a show and tell for us and the university to the local media, pushing how the cutting edge of journalism is right here in the College of Mass Comm.
At the beginning of the broadcast, we showed you the history behind the construction of the Islamic Center. Chris, now that the facility has opened, have things changed?
Yes, Alex, but not in a way that you might expect. The opponents of the Islamic Center are still out there. They're just using a different platform to spread their message. 14 months later, the mosque is up and running. Protest signs are down, and the demonstrators have gone home. Though the debate may not be in plain view, it still rages on. A few keystrokes on your favorite search engine will easily turn up tens of millions of results. You might expect this kind of behavior from someone behind a computer screen, but would you expect it from your elected officials? Even here on Capitol Hill, miles from the Murfreesboro Islamic Center, some of the highest offices in the state have some very deep concerns about the Murfreesboro Islamic Center. One of those offices is held by Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey, who tweeted something that got a lot of attention on the 12th anniversary of 9/11. As the president attempts to ally with Al-Qaeda in Syria's civil war, we must always remember who attacked us on our soil 12 years ago. While interviewing the Lieutenant Governor about an unrelated story, Ramsey gave us the green light for any questions, which led us to ask him about the controversial Murfreesboro Islamic Center.
I'll talk about anything you want to.
Okay. There are a few times in which you expressed your opinion on the subject, and we were wondering if there's any insight that you could bring to.
And at one time during the governor's race, I was asked about that in particular, and my response, I'll stick by that response, was basically I do think there's you can't lump everybody into one bucket, but at the same time there is an aspect of the Muslim religion that does advocate violence, and there's nothing that nobody can deny that.
Just a short walk down the hallway, Speaker of the House Beth Harwell says she is well aware that there are questions.
I know that my representatives from the Murfreesboro area are very concerned regarding it, and I don't think anyone wants to be ugly or forbid religious beliefs, but I also think there are other security issues that play into something like that my members are very concerned with.
What are some of the security concerns that you've heard about from your local representatives?
Well, there is evidence that sometimes Muslim faiths don't always appreciate and being in America, and some are a threat to our security. There is no doubt about that. And
Dr. Spinati has a request for anyone that accuses the local Muslim community of being anything less than peaceful.
Justify your claims. Show me, why I'm not in jail if I am, member of terrorist organization.
For Ramsey, he still goes back to that day in September.
When they took down the Twin Towers, that was done in the name of Muslim. When I mentioned that, obviously there are those that will take everything out of context, and what I was talking about there is the fact that there's that is not denying, and to me that is a cult. I mean, just as much as when Jim Jones in Jonestown had everybody drink the Kool-Aid.
Imam Balul says the negative comments don't affect him.
Not at all. Actually, they give me energy.
I wish that people would be more willing on the Muslim religion, if that is your religion, to say, though we denounce what those people are doing. We denounce the fact that they used my religion to fly into the Twin Towers and into the Pentagon, but sometimes it seems like they're reluctant to do that.
Okay, they throw mud on the wall. Whatever sticks, it's benefit to them.
Why do you think the building of the center got so much attention?
You need to remember that there are people are making money and preying on the fear of others. And that's why this is going to continue, and it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Whatever the motivation, members of the Muslim community are ready to move on.
I have no doubt that any opposition toward the Islamic Center will not succeed. Simply because I know for a fact that we try our very best to do everything right. And we trust the Constitution.
Hopefully, this cycle needs to end. It's the 21st century. Enough is enough. This country will need to go forward, and the past is past, and hopefully, we're looking for the future.
Now there's a new development to the ongoing struggle against the Islamic Center of Murfreesboro. Just last week, the ICM requested permission from Rutherford County to expand their cemetery lot. So Alex, this story is far from over.
Wow. Now, for more information on this story and to see the full unedited version of Chris's interview with Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey, visit our Facebook by searching Bragg Innovative News Network.
The attitude there of everybody was, oh, we don't think you can change it.
Legends are supposed to be well known and celebrated, and boots are meant to shine.
The question we look into is if one Middle Tennessee legend is indeed true blue. Ben reporter Rafty Cleary joins us now with that story.
That's right, Chris. Former head coach and AD James Boots Donnelly had a major impact on campus, but not many people actually know him.
Probably like a country singer or something.
Some sort of politician or military leader.
It's a famous boot seller or something.
I'd say probably a lab chemist.
An animal rights activist. And maybe he thoroughly enjoyed a good pair of boots.
Maybe a fireman.
Former head coach for MTSU.
When you ask students on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University who James Boots Donnelly is, those are some of the responses you'll hear. More wrong answers than right ones. For close followers of Blue Raider athletics, this may come as a shock. For nearly 50 years, Coach Donnelly has been a pivotal part in Blue Raiders' success. He started his career as a defensive back on the Blue Raider football team in 1962.
My years of playing there, which I played 4 years, the thing that I probably cherish the most is that I had great teammates, great friends, and they're still friends.
The game of football came naturally to Donnelly, and it's no surprise that after his playing days were over that he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
I always felt that I was a football coach. I always felt that I was a good football coach.
Donnelly credits his passion for coaching to the great leadership he has had throughout his career.
Never played under bad coaches, so I've had a great taste in my mouth for coaches and coaching.
Donnelly kicked off his head coaching career in 1974 when he took over the reins of the Father Ryan High School football program. In just 2 years on the job, he managed an astounding 21-2 record and led the Irish to a state championship. In 1977, Donnelly exploded onto the college football scene as head coach of the Austin Peay Governors. In 2 seasons there, Donnelly had instant success, winning their first and only Ohio Valley Conference championship. Winning is synonymous with Boots, and his alma mater was taking notice. In 1979, MTSU hired Donnelly to lead the Blue Raiders.
In order for us to have a chance to win championship after championship and compete nationally, I can do it easier at Middle than I can at Austin Peay.
When Coach Donnelly came to Middle Tennessee, the football program was in shambles.
At the time that I went to Middle, I was shocked at the apathy. Middle had lost for I don't know how many years, 10 years or so.
There was talks of the football program being dropped, and according to Donnelly, the fans felt that there was no hope in turning the program around.
The attitude there of everybody was, oh, we don't think you can change it.
But those thoughts were wrong, and what happened next changed the course of not only the football program, but the university as a whole. From 1979 to 1998, Coach Donnelly did what he does best: win, capturing 4 OVC titles, claiming 9 top 20 finishes at the 1AA level, and earning 7 1AA playoff appearances. As the wins began to pile up for the MTSU coach, he began to formulate a vision for the future: getting the Blue Raiders to the next level. Success on the field brought changes to the university. In order to move to 1A football, the Blue Raiders would first need a new stadium, one to house more fans. For Coach Donnelly, this decision couldn't have been easier.
Building of the football stadium was a no-brainer. Okay, going 1A to me was a no-brainer.
Some on campus were reluctant to make the move due to the amount of money it would cost. But Coach had one message for those who didn't think the Blue Raiders should make the move.
How much does it cost if you don't?
After MT made the transition to 1A, Boots felt like it was time for him to step down as coach. Over the course of 20 seasons, Donnelly racked up 140 wins.
I basically told our football team about the 8th, 9th game that I couldn't reach them. There was no reason to continue.
But Coach Donnelly's time as a Blue Raider wasn't quite done yet. In 2002, Boots was hired as athletic director of MTSU. His leadership qualities were a perfect fit for the university, and Donnelly quickly sprang to action. The university was in dire need of new facilities. His next visions, new tennis courts and locker rooms for the women's basketball team. And perhaps his biggest contribution to the university, the building you see behind me, the Rose and Emmett Kennan Sports Hall of Fame right here on campus. It was also the site of his last visit to the university when he inducted his former quarterback into the Blue Raider Hall of Fame.
But yeah, it was neat for him to come back and talk about me.
2005 ended up being Donnelly's last as athletic director at MTSU.
The president has the right to do what he wants to do, and he made that choice, you know. And that's the way I was raised. That, hey, you know, if you're not wanted, don't hang around.
A few years removed from the job he loved so much, Boots received an unexpected call from a friend asking for help with an organization called Backfield in Motion. It's a nonprofit organization with a mission to combine academics and athletics to inspire inner-city youth to reach their maximum potential and become significant contributors to society.
I'm just sitting around my house, you know. And when Joe called me, I said, Joe, I don't want to get involved in that stuff. I'm through.
But Boots gave it a chance and agreed to take over as the acting CEO of the organization, a job he still holds today. Just like coaching, it's a perfect fit for the former ball coach.
I think that's where his heart is. He really loves it. You know, I think he enjoys being around those young kids. You know, I think he's instilling values in those kids. I think he's teaching them how to be a man. You know, I think it's a perfect fit for him. I really do.
Day by day, week by week, year by year, Boots watches these children develop in academics, leadership, and character. To him, that's the best part of it all.
I just enjoy being around those kids. I enjoy those little old guys coming up after school showing me their report cards and that they hadn't been in trouble.
In a way, Donnelly is still coaching, only now he's coaching kids in the game of life. Just this past summer, Coach Donnelly garnered yet another accomplishment. He was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, making him the only College Hall of Famer at MTSU. Other coaches inducted into the Hall of Fame that evening, Phil Fulmer and Jimmy Johnson.
Coach Donnelly did mention to us that although his departure from Middle did have some unfortunate aspects to it, he is quite pleased with the direction that the current football program led by Rick Stockstill has.
He also had high remarks for the work of Chris Massaro as the current athletic director.